Blank Talk.
Yep.
We are on a new mic today. It's a shotgun mic. We want to make sure that you guys can hear us. Let us know in the comments how our audio is. You might have to turn the volume up a little bit more today.
Yeah. So if you can hear us, let us know. So you can make a comment because we're on a new shotgun mic, like Eden said. So
beautiful.
So somebody did comment, said they can hear us, which is cool. So let's get this thing going.
Woohoo!
Hello, everybody. I'm Bill Batson from Batson Enterprises, and today we're doing our 5th episode of Blank Talk. I'm here with
Eden Batson from Batson Enterprises.
Right.
Doing Blank Talk.
Yeah, exciting today. Today's a really cool and something different. A lot of people don't talk about fly rods much, but it's a huge part of our industry. We have over 50 pages in our catalog dedicated to fly fishing.
Whew.
Yes. And we have 62 different blank models to choose from. We have from spey fishing to 2 weights to 13 weights, from 6 foot to 13 foot. So there's a lot to go on in the fly industry.
Yeah.
The fly industry is a big industry. There's some great companies out there. Sage, Thomas & Thomas, Winston, St. Croix, G. Loomis, that make fly rods. A lot of fly fishermen out there. We do a lot in the custom market. We have so many different things. We have 68 different fly seats to choose from to go with our 62 different blanks. We have 28 different handles to choose from. So our fly business is big. We do a lot of OEM business. We have a great design team.
Wonderful design team.
Yeah, great design team. So today we're going to bring on the professional.
The man.
The man, the myth, the legend, Mike Thorson.
Yes.
Mike, want to step on in? Good to see you again, Mike. Mike has been with the Batson team for 18 years. Mike's got 40 years experience in the fishing industry. He is the VP of design for us. We would not be the company we are today without Mike Thorson. He's like an uncle to me. Pretty cool. My father hired him right before he passed away. Yep. Mike calls me. He was on the road coming to swim, coming to work for us in the family business, and my dad passed away. He called me up and said, "Do you still need me?" And I said, "More than ever."
Yeah.
I needed him more than ever. Like I said, we would not be the company we are today if it wasn't for Mike Thorson. He brought a lot of things to us, professionalism. He taught me how to do pricing, all kind of stuff back in the day. So it's been a great partnership. You and your family are like family to us.
Likewise.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
It's been a great ride.
yes, it has been.
Yep.
So I'm going to let you take care of all the details of why we do design and all of that. So wherever you want to start, Mike.
Okay. I think primarily what I want to talk about initially is we have 3 main series of blanks that we offer in the fly industry. We have our Unity series, which is a standard graphite, our Revelation, which is more of a standard intermediate blend, and then we have our Eternity, which is our high-end series. All our blanks we design with what I call a progressive taper. In a nutshell, what that means is more weights applied or more line gets in the air, the blank's going to bend a little bit further. You might ask yourself, what's the difference between the 3 then? Primarily the materials we're able to use, and we're able to take the weight out of the blank, and the blanks will dampen slightly different. One big thing that I've always been a big proponent of, and some other people that design fly rods are as well, in a given series, as you go down in line weight, in other words, say we're looking at a 5 weight versus an 8 weight, I'll traditionally make the 5 weight load a little bit quicker. In the industry, there's something called the fly weight standard, and what they do is they take the first 30 feet of a fly line and they weigh it, and that's, makes it categorize it as a 5 weight, a 6 weight, a 7 weight, an 8 weight. That's a good standard, but the problem is a little small trout stream rod, a 30-foot cast would be pretty much as far as you may cast. With an 8 or 9 weight, 30 feet is nothing. You're going to cast it further. So what I've always done from a design standpoint in all our series, as you go up in line weight, they are a little bit faster as you go up in line weight. I'll say that again. So if you compare a 5 to an 8, the 8's going to feel just a little bit quicker. The reason we do that is because you're going to cast it further in most situations. So I want to grab 3 of our different series and kind of go over some different stuff with you. Give me the 5-weight Unity and Rev and Eternity.
All right, here's the 5-weight
Unity.
and that's a beautiful green color.
Yeah, the Unity comes in a really beautiful olive or Olympic green, whatever you want to call it. This is our standard graphite model. How it will differ from some of the other ones, the weight of these is going to be slightly higher. Very nice, moderate, fast action. I really like them because as a certified casting instructor, one of the most difficult things for the students to learn is they need to feel the line throughout the cast. All the blanks that I designed for the company, that's one of the most important aspects, is when you're starting the cast, you can feel the rod load. There's a lot of rods on the market today. While they might be quite nice, they require a lot of line to be carried in the air for them to load properly. And for the beginning angler, that's something that's kind of difficult to do. That comes later as you progress with your casting skill. One thing that we strive for with all of our blanks, and you'll see a subtle difference in these as I show you, is the ferrule region. Years ago, ferrules were metal, believe it or not, and they created a major flat spot when you bend the blank. If you look at this, when I bend this near the tip, you can see there's a subtle flat spot on the Unity, not bad at all. Really a critical part of designing a rod, because when I cast a rod after I've developed the blank, what I'm always looking at is how the loop is performing. When you stop a rod that doesn't have ferrules designed correctly, what you get is a bounce in the bottom of the loop when you stop the rod. With the slim ferrule designs that we've incorporated in all our series, that's pretty minimalized. So you get a lot smoother bottom edge of the loop. It's hard to describe until you actually see it. The next time you go cast, look at your loop when you stop the rod, and you'll see a waveform. If the ferrules are not designed properly, you get a lot of bounce, and that robs you accuracy and distance every time you try to cast.
Right.
If I show you our next couple, this is a Revelation. It'll look subtly better.
Yep.
Okay. And then if I go to the Eternity, which is our flagship model, it's going to look like there's really no bump at all. Part of the way we achieve that is, years ago, you have to reinforce the ferrule region, especially the female part. You have a thicker male part going in, and it makes the blank thicker in that area, so you're putting a stress point. We've figured out how to take thinner material and reinforce the ferrule with that, so you don't get that big heavy flat spot that was so common in fly rods of years gone by. Actually, years ago, a lot of guys used 3-piece rods because the ferrule was lower, more towards the middle of the rod. We've all gone to 4-piece once we developed this slim ferrule technology. It's made a big difference. When you look at our individual series, the Unity, I think there's 18 models off the top of my head.
I think so.
Basically, the difference between 2 and 4-piece. We do maintain a lot of 2-piece. Great price point rod for the beginner to get started, but really, from a performance standpoint, they're really quite good. They cast really well.
Can I stop you 1 second, Mike?
Sure.
In regards to the Unity series, we're giving away a kit.
Yes,
Oh,
we are
okay.
giving away
Yeah.
this specific blank, actually,
Yeah.
the Unity 5-weight. We're giving away a full kit with the build and the build sheet, which I believe we have out here. Is this the correct one?
Yes.
If we
Yep.
want to look into this, so this is our giveaway for the day, and I have to randomize and pick a giveaway winner,
Okay.
which we are going to be doing here pretty soon. Let me
Okay.
put this down for a second. If we
No
want to
worries.
take
Cool.
a look at this kit, and you want to talk a little bit more about that, I will get our winner all sorted.
Perfect. Thank you, Eden. 1 second, Mike.
Sure.
We have kits for all of our fly rods, like everything that we build. We have a kit for it. So we're going to give away a kit today, and Eden says we're giving away this Unity UNIF 905-4.
Woohoo!
And it is a kit, and we'll be sending it to somebody. And do we have a winner?
I believe we do. I just need to randomize my thing here
Okay.
and pick someone out of our comments.
People love giveaways.
Oh,
They're fun. We did it a little bit different. So we had an Instagram post that we had people comment on, and they followed and liked our page.
Okay.
And so we're going to be going from there. So it looks like Anderson_Davis 11
Underscore?
_Davis 11
is our winner.
Is our winner of the
For the
Unity
kit.
5-weight kit.
Excellent.
Beautiful,
Nice.
wonderful, amazing. So we are going to reach out to you through Team Rain Shadow, our Instagram, and we will look into sending this to you, and you can build your first fly rod.
Excellent. Thank you, Edith.
Yeah, super exciting.
Yep. Now we can get Mike back in there. Sorry about that, Mike, for
that's
interrupting
all right.
you. You know, people like the free giveaways, you know.
They always do, myself included.
No, you weren't in on the list.
That's right. So our Unity is our kind of our what we call our entry level standard graphite, but very nice smooth casting rod. More of a moderate fast rod, but with power as you go up in line weight to make any kind of cast you're going to need to. Keep in mind this, one of the most common questions is what do I get when I spend more, okay? If you go from our Unity to Revelation, a little bit lighter blank weight, so in your hand it's going to feel a little bit lighter, less tip heavy. As you progress up in line weight, a little bit quicker action and more lifting power. If you're fishing any kind of a sinking line or picking a lot of line up off the water, you don't have to strip in quite as much, and the blank will be capable of lifting that line up off the water. With the Eternity, again, same type of difference as what I just described between the Unity and Revelation. More lifting power, quicker, lighter blank weight, really, really beautiful rod. One of the big things, again, I want to emphasize, I'm a big proponent of making sure you can feel the rod when you're casting. In all three of these series, it's even on our most fast rod, you can. The utopia, as far as a really sophisticated caster is they want to have a fast rod with feel. That's what everybody talks about. And I feel like the Eternity is really, we've nailed it with that. A rod can cast an incredible distance if you need it to, but if you're making the close-in casts or short roll casts or whatever, they still load properly. What you'll notice with the Unity and Rev, we do go down and make some of the smaller rods. With the Eternity, I don't do that. I stop at a 9-foot 5-weight. In my mind, it doesn't make any sense at all to create a short, fast action rod. That's not what you need when you're fishing with a little small stream rod. You want it to load quickly. You don't have to make 60 to 70 foot casts. You're just never going to do that. Some of our shorter rods will cast far if you're capable as the person using it, but they're really designed for shorter distances. I want to reiterate what I said earlier too. With the shorter rods, they load sooner. As you go up in line weight, I progressively make them a little bit stiffer and faster so they'll work properly for whatever you're going to do. As you get above like a 7, 8, 9, 10 weight, you're traditionally going to be casting 40 to 70 feet. You need a fairly powerful fast action blank. You can take any blank and cast it far if you're really, really good at it, but by designing the blanks in the manner that we do it, we make your job a little bit easier. As far as I could go on and on and on about materials and design, I'll elaborate a little bit though on how we make some of the changes to get them a little bit quicker. In a 4-piece rod, it's not unusual for me to take and have 2 materials in the butt, 2 in the middle section, maybe 2 in the mid or upper section, and then just 1 in the tip. So what we're doing is to make this blank a little bit quicker, I might take high modulus and reinforce with it down here so I can get a little bit stiffer blank without adding a lot of weight. Then we progress and maybe blend the two here so we're getting that nice smooth progressive taper.
Yep.
With the Eternity, what we're doing here is super high modulus, and you can almost see the difference if you look real closely here.
In the diameters.
You can see the diameters going down.
Yep.
The reason for that is I took the tooling down, and I'm also able to use a lot higher modulus material in the bottom and midsection to get that more powerful, quicker, faster blank. You simply can't do that in a lower end rod. It's just not cost effective. To get stiffness in a rod, I was talking to these guys the other day, you have 3 ways to do that. You have material type, wall thickness, and diameter. And we're always combining all those tools when we're designing these various blanks. So it just depends on what your goal is and what your price point is. But a lot of thought goes into it.
Yes.
I mean, I never bring a rod on the market without casting it personally and also generally sending it to friends that are very accomplished fishermen. You're never going to get a blank from us that hasn't been tested on water. So we test lifting power, all that type of stuff. It's a big deal.
Yes.
I'm going to cut in here.
You gonna
Okay.
cut in?
Yeah, I'm going to cut in. We have another...
You're good at that.
I am really good at that. I'm trying to be better about interrupting because I do it constantly.
Yeah.
But I get to interrupt this episode.
Yeah, you do.
This is our giveaway that we are going to be doing. Other than the Unity 5-weight, we have another giveaway, and that is this Bob Clouser tie. The art of tying a fly tie. Is that the correct verbiage?
Yeah.
Bob is an industry icon. If
Yes.
you fish much at all, he developed and designed the Clouser minnow. He's actually a personal friend of mine, and many, many years ago gave me many of these, and I decided it would be nice to give one away to some lucky recipient.
Wow.
And this actually was tied by Bob himself, which makes it pretty unique.
Very much
Great
so.
guy.
Application?
One of the most active members in the fly fishing community, does a lot for youth, promoting the sport in general, has worked for numerous companies and still does at 78 years old. He's just an icon and a really cool person, and has designed some incredible flies. This design been the most popular one he ever did. What's unique is I don't think he's ever taken a dime for it. You know, he's just passed it on and let people, so yeah,
A
enjoy.
true ambassador to the industry, Mike.
Yes.
A true ambassador.
Yeah,
to the
he really
industry.
is, absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
So when do you think we should give it away? Later in the episode? Should we give it away now?
You want to do it now, Mikey?
Do it now.
Should we do it now?
Let's do it now.
Should we do it now? So
Can you
the
tell me the
Clouser
application,
minnow.
Mikey? Is that like that's a saltwater fly?
Well, or freshwater, it's common. Bob for years was a guide on the Susquehanna River in Pennsylvania, smallmouth bass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he actually guided around 3 Mile Island a lot, if you can believe that. But it's a minnow imitation. It's a sinking fly, minnow imitation, and you just cast and strip. In the water, it's similar to if you use a gear rod to what a jerkbait does, or minnow imitation. But because it's bucktail and you've got various types of glitter and floss, different things they tie in with them, they just undulate in the water and they look very, very real. Great fly. I mean, if you fly fish at all, you've got Clouser minnows.
Nice.
There we go.
Nice.
So a Clouser minnow, hand tied by Clouser himself.
Yep.
We are giving away. So who are we going to give it away to?
Rick Mansell.
Rick Mansell.
Rick Mansell, you won yourself a beautiful Clouser minnow tied by the man himself.
By the man himself.
Personal friend of Mike Thorson's.
Yes. So make sure that you send us a direct message on Facebook. You let us know. We are going to recognize your name right away. And you just say, hey, I won the Clouser minnow. And we will get your address from you and ship it out.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Mikey, for giving us that as a gift. Yes.
Some questions have been coming in.
Perfect.
Saltwater. Which model is the most popular for saltwater, especially for like tarpon, and then maybe a redfish one?
Okay.
Mikey?
Tarpon, we just introduced a 9012 4-piece last year in the Eternity series. Tested extensively down in Florida. Really, really great tarpon rod. Tarpon fishing, you do a lot of your sight fishing basically, and doing quick, short, or intermediate length shots at them is what they call it. So the Unity, I think it's the, I'm sorry, Eternity. What is it? EF 9012-4.
Yeah.
Beautiful blank and strong. One thing we did that you have to do on any tarpon rod design, the butt sections of those rods have to have really, really durable, a little bit thicker wall to handle the stress that you place on them, you know, catching an 80 to 150 pound fish. I was just talking to a buddy that's down in Florida now, and he caught 2 80s and then lost a bigger one on one of these blanks. So very, very nice product. Redfish rods, most people use about an 8 weight. Sometimes they might go up to a 9 if you're getting into fishing for the bull reds. You know, any of them would work real well. Again, what you're gaining by going from the Unity to Rev to Eternity, lighter blank weight, a little bit more ability to pick line up off the water. You know, the Rev 8 weight is one of my favorites. I really like that blank. It's very smooth. It has power. Good price point for a lot of folks. You know, if no holds barred, hey, go with the Eternity.
Beautiful. And they come in that cobalt blue.
That cobalt blue is beautiful.
It's a beautiful color.
Yep. A little bit. And again, the biggest difference between those two The Eternity will pick up just a little bit more line, and it's a little bit lighter in your hand. But the Rev is an excellent blank.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent. So, another question, Jeff?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And you guys might have different opinions, but ferrule wrapping.
Mikey?
Ferrule wrap, I've always kind of done generally about a 1/2 inch at all ferrules. There are cross grain designed into all our ferrules, but it doesn't hurt to have that little ferrule wrap there to help reinforce that part of the rod. It just helps keeping it from splitting. We don't see that, and when you properly design one with cross grain, it's doing the same thing. But since we've taken the cross grain material down in thickness, I still think putting a ferrule wrap there is a really good idea. Some people will also extend a guide on a ferrule, and if you're going to do that, I would slide the guide up, 3/8, and then start your wrap.
Yep.
That's what I would do.
Personally, as a builder, I try to keep everything uniform, so whatever's closest here, I would try to make that wrap that I have the guide on the same as I would on a ferrule, just from a builder standpoint, cosmetically wise.
Yeah, but it's always been done to help reinforce it a little bit, and it certainly does. There's no question about that. Thread and epoxy is going to, just a good thing to do in my mind. I mean, I don't think you'll ever see a rod built by a factory that doesn't have a ferrule wrap.
Definitely.
I can't think of one at least. You could look at a Sage, a Loomis, a Thomas & Thomas, a Winston, they all have them.
Yep. Any more questions there, Jeff?
Yeah. Do we also offer spey and switch?
Oh, yes.
We do.
Yes.
We've got, in switch rods, we have them in both our Revelation. I think there's 4 models. They go 5 to 10.
5 to 8 weights. 5, 6, 7, and 8 weights.
Yep. And then in the Immortal, I think we have 3.
The Immortal switch, we have 3. Yes.
Yep.
We have 3 11-footers.
Yep.
And they go from 6, 7, and 8 weights.
Some of the switch rods, will actually work with a conventional fly line as well if you want to go that route. What's kind of happened over the years here, switch rods have kind of morphed into what we call trout spey. So guys are using new lines that were similar in weight to some of the switch rods and using them for shorter spey applications. They're great when you're fishing tight quarters and you want to get some distance on a cast. A lot of times with a single hand rod you can't back cast quite a bit. Right. And with the switch or spey, if you know what you're doing, you can get a pretty decent cast out there. Our spey rods, I think we have 3 models left.
We have 4 models.
Yep, 4.
We have a 12.6, a 13, a 13.3, and a 13.6.
Yep.
As the lengths go up, so do the weights. So we got a 6, 7, 8, and a 9 weight space.
Yep. And
gloss burgundy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful blanks. Designed with some aids from guys down in the Medford, Oregon area that do a tremendous amount of spey fishing. They've also helped us with line ratings on them. Really outstanding values. If you haven't spey fished, I mean, it allows you to do some things that you just simply can't do with a single-handed rod. That's what a lot of the spey and switch rods were developed for, was to increase your casting distance. Spey came from Norway many, many years ago, where they're fishing in fjords where you have, a granite wall behind you. You can't do a back cast, so you have to do a long roll cast or switch cast or whatever you want to do.
Those are crazy looking casts, aren't they, Mike?
Yeah. It takes a little more practice, but it's really a wonderful way to fish. Yeah. What's common out on the Olympic Peninsula here is guys will take the 8 and 9 weight spey and they'll put a Skagit head, which is a real heavy weight forward line where you don't have to back cast and you can lob a fly out and it sinks quick. And in these, where, if you fish the Bogus Shield or Hoe or any of these rivers, you just don't have a lot of room to cast. It's a real popular technique, and these outstanding values.
Yeah, making a custom fly rod is an amazing thing to do.
Yep.
Any more questions?
I have a question
Yes.
from our pro staff, Jaden Sage.
Oh yeah, what did Jaden have to say?
Jaden wants to know which fly rod would be best to convert to a spinning.
Guys will take, generally what the most common uses I see is they're going to take a 6 weight on up If you get into the real light ones, sometimes I think the action is just simply too light for most spinning applications. There might be some ultralight applications with some of the small ones. Typically can be used as a crappie rod, light to medium light spinning rods where you want a little bit more length. The thing you want to be cognizant of is that they were designed to throw a fly line, which is a progressive load. So as you put more line out, you're bending the blank further. As you go up in weight when you're using a fly rod with, say, a weight or a lure, you want to get away from snap casting it and you want to lob it. Otherwise, you're going to be putting a lot of stress on the blank that it wasn't designed to handle. Most of them will perform just fine if you're careful with the weight range that you're trying to put on it. I've taken 8 weights and made them into float and fly rods for bass fishing where you're throwing a light float with a little jig imitation under it early in the year. It's a great presentation. I've made 7 weights into crappie rods. Works really well. Usually a 2-piece one is what I'll work with.
And why not a 4-piece, Mike? Just because of the design?
Yeah, I think it's just you get a little bit smoother up in the tip area, and I think it's ultimately, if you test a 2-piece rod versus a 4-piece, slightly more break strength.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Should we take a...
Hopefully Jaden had something. Yes, Jeff, question?
What's the correct way to find spine on a fly rod?
Same way you would do it any other way. Via each section, right? So how I check them, this is how I do it. You take your section, you bend it, and you roll it in your hand. Same way you would do, try not to drop it.
Where am I going?
Same way you would do any other one. And you find the spine, you can see the soft spine, the light one, and the heavy one. There's your light one, and there's your heavy one. We can go through how to find spines later, but you would do it the same way you do any other blank. Via each section, mark your sections, and go from there. Mike?
Yep. Some people always build on the spine. Some people will take a rod, and what they'll do is they'll just line the 4 section up to get a straight edge.
Right.
Most manufacturers use that approach.
And why do they do that, Mike?
Sometimes it can be hard to find, the blank won't look quite as straight if you always roll it on the spline. The spline can be a little bit of you're never exactly sure how it's going to come out.
Sure.
I can tell you the places that I've worked in the past, and most of the companies I know build on the straight edge. Yep. There might be a very subtle difference in the perceived power if everything is spline the same, but it's minimal.
All right. So to answer the question, same way you would spline any other blank, right?
Yep.
Perfect. Another question?
Can a customer get just a tip section if they need one?
Yes. If you break a tip section, if you send in the section below it, we can make sure it fits, because all of these are made for each particular blank. Sending your second section down, we'll make sure it doesn't have a ferrule knock, and send you another one.
Yeah, some people will take fly rod tip seconds, I know, and build ice rods and stuff.
Yes.
Coming down the pipe, you won't need to do that. We'll have some ice rod blanks for you to look at.
We got a new series coming out too.
Yep.
We don't want to tell anybody about it
That's
because
right.
we don't want
Yep.
other people to know. But we do have another series coming out. Right now we have 3 different materials. We're working with another material that Mike's worked on for a year or so now.
Yep.
Had some of our pro staffs using them, and coming out with a new fly line series.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'll be looking for that.
Yep.
Eden, you have another question?
So what are the materials that we're using right now? Are these 3 different materials?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have what we call the RX6, RX7, and RX8.
Yes.
Yes, those are the 3 materials. And the Unity comes in a beautiful Olympic green, which is our RX6. Our RX7 comes in a satin black, which is our Revelation. Ooh. And the Eternity comes in this beautiful cobalt blue, which is we call our RX8.
I do want to elaborate on that just a little bit. This is primarily just standard graphite or RX6. This can have RX8, 7, and 6.
All blended together.
Yeah, this
to
can
get
have
what we want.
RX9, 8,
Right.
and 7. Depends on what section and what I'm trying to do. It's not uniform on every blank. It just depends on what you're trying to accomplish with the rod. But by taking RX9 and blending it with 8 in the bottom section and midsection, we're able to get a lot more stiffness without adding very much weight.
Yeah.
That's why this blank is lighter in your hand.
Right. and
But-
has a tendency to be quicker too.
Right.
Right.
Understand this, when you start plugging in those super high modulus materials, the cost per pound is, I'm not gonna divulge it, but it's quadruple what you're paying here.
Sure.
Okay, so it adds a lot of cost to a rod. That's why we can't do it at a given price, at every price point. It's just
Correct.
not feasible.
Mike has designed over
Sheesh.
thousands of blanks for us. You know, our current lineup is over 500 models.
Right.
Right, but we've discontinued and we've built other. We do private label. We do a lot of different things. We've sold, you know, 1 million blanks in the last 20 years.
Yep.
And Mike has had a hand in all of it. His expertise. Also, we have people all over the world that help us design. People come to us with different ideas. If we have questions, we go talk to guys that know more than us.
Right.
You know.
I've always worked very closely, whether it's been here or anywhere I've worked, have a network of people that actually learned this from his father. God bless him, because he was probably the best network guy, and if he didn't know, he knew where to send you, and we've kind of always carried that philosophy forward. But, you know, having guys that on my speed dial, so to speak, that know more than I do, or that are, you know, I don't get to tarpon fish every day like they do when they're living in Florida. So, hey, I send that rod down to them, and I have them critique it. And I always tell them, you're not going to hurt my feelings, you know, you're just open and honest. And same thing with every other kind of blank we work with.
Yes.
I recently, last summer, was working on something besides fly, and I was sending them to guys all over the country, Texas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, all testing various actions and models for us to make sure they're correct and also durable and all the different things. You gotta fish them. You can't, there's just no way around that.
Good research and development. I try to get out as much as possible, but I don't get out as much as I would like.
Likewise, but yeah, it's hard to do.
But that other new series we're talking about, where you sent it to the guys in Alabama and Texas and Louisiana,
All over.
another new series we're coming out with in July. It's
Yep.
going to be exciting. Be looking for that one too. I know a lot of people have been asking for it.
Yep.
So, is there any other questions we want to handle at this time, or did?
Sure, there's another one.
Okay.
Which fly models are most commonly built also as center pin?
As center pins.
Some of the switch rods, probably the 11-footers would be my thought.
Yeah, the 11-foot switches. I know Carrie has experimented with some of the spey stuff, but we've actually come out with a new line of center pin blanks that we would endorse. But you can take any one of these 4 pieces.
Yep.
I know Carrie has a recipe that he'd worked on before we even had our center lines, where he would take one of these speys or one of the switches. And modify it a little bit and make his.
Yeah, they'll hold up to the stress. Those are designed to handle a lot of.
In the higher
everything.
weights.
Yep.
Obviously, all in the higher weights. You wouldn't want to take a 4-weight or something like that. More like the 7s.
7s and 8s.
7s and 8s.
Yeah, both either the Revelation switch or the Immortal.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
think
I'd
he was
be
taking the
comfortable with-
Immortals.
Yeah, exactly.
He was taking the Immortals. Any other questions?
Would you mind flexing the 8-weight Eternity?
Not a problem. All right. Mike, you want to go ahead and pull on this? I'll hold the tip.
Okay.
All right.
Now this is the Eternity, and I'll try to kind of.
This is an
If you
8-weight.
look at this, you can see that it's with this amount of torque, it's staying fairly stiff in this region. Okay. Can you guys see that all
Can
right?
you see that, Holly? Everything good? Everybody
All right.
can see this?
Send me the rev now. We'll show them the difference.
Okay. And the rev in the 8-weight is the same thing?
Yep.
Now, how many pounds of pressure do you think you're pulling there, Mikey?
Oh,
2?
2, 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
not a lot. You can see that this has got a little bit more bend, especially above this ferrule right here.
Yeah.
A little bit softer action.
Right.
Now, if I pull the Unity,
Yep.
you're going to see a subtle change again. That one's on the board there.
Oh, clip that, Mikey?
Now, if you look at this one, you can see that it's definitely got
Definitely can tell the difference
more. Yeah.
as you move down into materials. The
right.
more parabolic it's going to be.
Right. And that's when we categorize a rod. This we would call moderate fast.
Yep.
The rev is more of a fast, and then the Eternity is extra fast.
Perfect.
Okay, I came to yell at you guys for not wearing goggles while doing flexes.
Yeah, thanks, Edith.
I got my glasses
You
on.
got your glasses on.
All right. People are asking about where to get the build sheets.
Yeah,
Edith.
so we just looked at that Revelation 8-weight, which we have the build sheet right here for.
Oh, it's a beautiful build sheet. Yeah, let me slide in here so I can tell people about it a little bit. So this particular one, we have a carbon foregrip. Mike, this is a beautiful foregrip. I'm surprised more manufacturers haven't picked this one up. And it would come with a fighting butt. What I like about these, it's a ream through design. Makes it easier to build. As a custom rod builder, you know what I'm talking about. This one has a double locking nut with an Alp seat. Comes with a trim that fits right inside. Centers everything up. Boom, boom, boom. Just like that. You got the smooth transitions.
That's pretty, especially on that blue.
Yes.
On that blue blank.
It has a cutout that matches perfectly. You drop that all in there on that blue blank. And
Say that 5 times fast.
on that blue blank.
Blue blank.
Blue blank. Okay. And this particular one has Alps titaniums. A rod like this, you would start with a number 16, Mikey.
Yep.
And go to a 12. I personally like to put 3 strippers. Some people don't. 16, 12, 10, and then on a rod that size, they all have the double footers.
Yes.
Right.
Beautiful. And these build sheets are amazing. Our design team worked on these
Yes.
for a very long time. They came out amazing, and we recently just released them. So if you want to build one of these amazing fly rods and you want to see a build sheet from us, you can find them on Guide Spacing, which is our Facebook page that we have on Facebook. It's a group of over 3,000 rod builders who get to talk to each other and kind of get feedback, and it's really amazing. It's a wonderful community, so we posted it on there because we monitor that Facebook group. We also have it on rodbuilding.org. And if there's one that you cannot find or you're having trouble, give us a call here. One of our salesmen will email it to you probably.
Yeah, most definitely.
I want to jump in here real quick about these carbon grips. This is a full wells. We have a reverse half wells as well, which would mimic this, like that cork grip over there,
Yep.
or this one. This is a reverse half wells.
In carbon.
There's Euro nymphing now, which we have a blank in our Eternity series designed for that. But if you're doing any nymph fishing, this is without question more sensitive than a cork or EVA fly grip or a wind fly grip. Keep that in mind if you do a lot of nymph fishing, because if you're not using a strike indicator and you're relying on the rod to give you feedback, you'll feel more with using this grip on a nymphing rod. No question about it.
It's a great thing to say, Mike, because those things are sensitive, and when you're feeling, it's all about sensitivity. And that's the full well, and we do have a reverse half well, and they have cutouts that match our Alps reel seats or our forecast reel seats. Yep. So definitely, like I said, we have 28 different handles that you can use. So that's just one of them, and that would be on the high end. So I think everything's looking good. Is there any more questions in regards to fly? I mean, there's a lot going on in the fly world.
Yes, there is.
More than people think. I remember when I had my custom shop, I used to love to build fly rods because they're not as labor intensive as, say, a saltwater rod. Step this way a little, Mikey, so we can get all in camera. So the wraps are shorter, the glue jobs are shorter, everything a little bit easier to build. And in the fly market, there's good money to be made in the fly market, especially in the custom market. People overlook that, but it was really good. I remember when I had my custom shop, Wild Bill's Custom Rods back in the day. Wild Bill's Custom Rods.
Industry-wise, the figures are between, depending on the year, 10 to 15% of the entire fishing industry is dedicated to fly. So that's a very significant number.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, and that mimics about our business. We're probably 15% of our multi-million-dollar company is in the fly industry.
Yep.
So it's definitely something people should look into, building more custom fly rods.
It's, if you haven't done it too, I can tell you this. This is a Bob Clouser story. I'm a pretty good stick, especially when I was a little bit younger, but we were all doing a photo shoot one day, and I was using a gear rod with, I think I had a tube or, I don't know, a twister tail or jig or like a Ned rig type bait.
Right.
And he was using a fly rod. And I would say after about the 10th fish, and I had one, I said, "What are you doing different?" And you know, he had a particular retrieve that he used with his clouser minnow that I have never used before. Really a big lesson to me to show me how effective it could be. You know, I've caught a lot of fish fly fishing, but seeing somebody that was, you know, back, that's 30 some years ago, was an absolute master and how good he was at it, real eye opener. You can catch a lot of fish using a fly rod. There's times when it's more effective than any other presentation, so
Yeah.
pretty cool way to fish.
I was always taught it was the other way around.
Yeah, well, me too. I thought I could smoke him, but that was a lesson
You
learned.
got schooled on that one. That's awesome. Well, everybody, this has been an amazing thing. Having Mike Thorson here. Mike, you're a wealth of knowledge. It's been a pleasure and an honor working with you for these last
Likewise, it's been a good
18
ride.
years. It's been a great ride. I look forward to many more.
Yep. A
but-
few at least.
Yeah, at least a couple more, right?
Yeah.
A couple more times around the sun. So, anyways, I just want to thank you, Mike.
Sure.
Like
Thank you,
again,
Bill.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for
Thank you,
coming
Lee.
on.
You
And,
bet.
and Mike is always available if you have questions. Mike at BatsonEnterprises.com is his
Yep.
email.
Oh wow, you're giving out the straight email.
Straight
Yep.
email to Mike Thorson. I know when I get overloaded on emails, I slide them over to Mike and he helps me out a lot. So,
Beautiful. Okay, so we're
everybody,
not done yet.
I know. We have another one. Chris Ward. Excuse me, I got a different
Okay.
blank here. I've got Chris Ward asked me to bend a blank for him. He was looking for some suggestions and asked me if I would ban the RCLB 70L. And Chris is in the UK. I've known him for a long time. He's a friend of mine. I have a rod in my collection from him. He's actually been up here. We've had some good times together. So, anyways, I'm going to put my safety glasses on.
I need to find my safety glasses. I don't know where they are.
Where's our safety glasses? Can we get some safety glasses over here, Sean?
Sure.
We don't have ours today. We're going to bend a blank here to show Chris Ward. I know we were not prepared for...
While you're waiting on
Yes.
that one, Italo wanted to know about a small tuna fly rod.
Hello, Italo. Hi,
Hey, Italo. Small tuna fly rod, Mike. Would you
You
take
know,
like a 967?
10 weight, 10 to 12 weight. You know, even if it's albacore. You know, guys that'll go out and do false albacore out east every year at Harker's Island and stuff, usually a 9 weight. But, you know, 10 to 12 on tuna, they just pull. You know, and you're
Right.
make sure you have a reel with a lot of backing and a good drag.
I know some folks take a saltwater stick like a 967,
Yep,
which is an 8-foot 2-piece.
yep.
And they'll use that particular blank and build it into a fly rod, put those big reels on there, because you're really not casting,
No,
right?
a lot of tuna, maybe a little bit. You know, billfish and stuff like that. You're usually pulling teasers, and you take a quick shot. That's an 8 to 8.5 foot blank. A lot of times it has a lot of glass in it to be able to hold up to the kind of stress. And
Sure.
A little bit different application, you know, after getting into doing the real big stuff, but can certainly be done.
Say like on a 12 weight, Mike, what kind of tippet would you be? What would your max tippet on a 12 weight be?
Oh, most guys probably stop at 20.
20 pound test.
Yeah.
So if you want to fish a 12 weight and try to catch those marlin or a tuna, a 20 pound tippet,
Yeah.
you break your tippet. Obviously, it was too much.
Yeah.
You know. So, anyways.
If you saw how far a rod bends with 10 to 12 pounds of pressure on it, boy, it's a lot of work to hold a rod with that kind of pressure on it, for sure. So.
Right. Correct. All right, we're gonna bend this blank for Chris.
Aha.
So we're gonna go ahead, Eden. I'm gonna have you hold this blank today.
Okay.
What's your safe word? You got a safe word today?
I don't know what my safe word is. I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous, Eden. Don't be nervous. All right, this is a 7-foot rain shadow composite live bait blank. It's an extra fast blank. I'll show you. It's 15 to 30, 3/4 to 3 ounce. This is a very popular blank. Go ahead and back up a little bit.
First of all, the safe word is marlin.
Okay, Marlon, just grab the tip and just hold it right there. I'll do all the work, okay? As you can see, it's a fast action blank, Chris. It's got a beautiful action and it's got plenty of backbone. As I pull, you can see the power get pulled back and you can see where it shuts off. This is a light blank in the hand. The weight of this blank, it's in the catalog, but
What page
that
did you
is
find?
the action of the RCLB 70L.
Beautiful. And what is that one made out of?
This is a composite, graphite on the back end. You can see where the transition is.
Yeah.
As we come lower in powers, it pulls back the glass. You can see the glass, right? And you can see where it shuts off right here. The pattern ends there. It shuts off there. and you can see the tip. Bing, bing, bing. It's got
Bing,
a
bing,
nice
bing,
action.
boom, boom, boom.
Just
Yada,
like
yada,
that.
yada.
So, Chris, hopefully that answered your question. If anybody ever has any questions, please make a comment. You can email us. You can go on these and give us suggestions on what you would like to see.
Yeah.
And all that. We've got so many blanks to show. We're going to be showing blanks for a long time. We're going to jump around a little bit here and there. I know we've got some seasons coming up. We've got our salmon season in the ocean coming up.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about downrigger rods and king rods and buoy 10
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So we'll be talking about that. Obviously saltwater, we'll be talking more bass. We'll be bringing in other professionals. I'm sure Mikey will be back also. But anyways.
We'll never run out. We'll be doing this show until...
There'll be new stuff.
Yeah.
There's always new stuff.
always new
Especially
stuff.
the new stuff. When the new stuff comes out, you know, we're going to be able to share the new stuff and share our passion. That's what we're here for. We're not here to sell you anything. We're here to make you feel as part of our family so you can also enjoy our passion and make you feel comfortable about being a partner and using a Batson product.
Yeah. Sharing the knowledge.
We're all family here, right? We're
Yep,
just trying to share
absolutely.
knowledge and enjoy the industry that we're in. So if we don't have anything else, Jeff, I guess we're going to call it a day.
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
I am Bill's daughter.
Yes. Yes.
By the way, there were just a couple comments like, "Oh, what a lovely couple." A couple of buds. A couple of
Yeah,
buds.
this is my youngest daughter. I have 3 children. This is my youngest. She's 21, and we enjoy working together, obviously. So, anyways, I just want to thank everybody again. Please come back. Give us comments. Give us questions. Give us advice on what you want to see. And aloha and fish on.
Before
right.
we end, I can tell you where to find all of our socials. We have YouTube, Batson Enterprises. We have Team Rain Shadow on Instagram, which is where our giveaway was this week. So if you like and follow our stuff on there, we post new content every day. And then we're on Facebook. We're pretty active here because we go live every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yep.
See you then.
All right. Aloha.